Follow your passion, the fuel for a long, purposeful life. Dr. Ellsworth Wham didn't just choose medicine as a career, he answered a calling. From a young age, he knew deep in his heart that he was meant to become a doctor. You know how people say they had their call to something? He once said, "I felt that I was actually called to be a doctor. There was never any question in my mind about it." That unwavering sense of purpose became the compass that guided his entire life. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about prestige. It was about meaning. And that meaning gave him energy that few people managed to carry into their 70s, 80s, and even 90s. Dr. Wham performed heart surgeries until he was 74 years old, an age when most people have long stepped away from their professions. But he didn't stop there. He remained in the operating room, mentoring young doctors and assisting in procedures until he was 95. Can you imagine having that much clarity, strength, and passion at an age when most are slowing down? His story teaches us one undeniable truth. When you love what you do, age is just a number. Passion doesn't retire. It keeps you sharp, engaged, and full of purpose. Science backs it up too. Research consistently shows that people who find meaning in their work tend to live longer, healthier lives. They handle stress better, maintain stronger mental health, and are more likely to stay physically active. In the Longevity Project, psychologists Howard S. Friedman and Leslie R. Martin found that individuals who stayed productive and purposeful well into old age were healthier and outlived their peers. Dr. Wham was the embodiment of this truth. He wasn't just working, he was thriving. But what's even more powerful is this. Dr. Wham didn't wait for motivation to strike. He chose passion. He nurtured it. And even when the work was hard, the hours were long, and the stakes were life or death, he kept going. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. And that's the message for all of us. Find what sets your soul on fire, and never let it go. Whether you're 25 or 75, it's never too late to pursue what gives your life meaning. Passion isn't reserved for the young, it's the secret fuel of the truly alive. So ask yourself today, what would I keep doing, even if I never got paid for it? That's where your longevity begins. That's your path to a life that matters, just like Dr. Wham's. Live a purpose-driven life, the fire that keeps you going. Purpose is more than just a word. It's more than a career. It's the why behind everything we do. For Dr. Ellsworth Wham, purpose wasn't simply something he found. It was something that found him in the darkest, most painful moment of his early career. During World War II, Dr. Wham was serving as a young naval doctor on a destroyer near the Philippines. One day, tragedy struck. His ship's captain suffered a traumatic fall, rupturing a disc and developing a rigid abdomen, a clear sign of internal damage that required emergency surgery. Dr. Wham pleaded for immediate intervention, knowing time was critical. But the surgery was delayed. The captain later died from an abdominal infection. It was a devastating moment, one that could have broken the spirit of a young doctor. But for Dr. Wham, it sparked a transformation. That loss didn't crush him. It carved a deeper purpose into his soul. "I decided then that I would become a well-qualified surgeon," he later recalled. This wasn't just a decision about a career path. It was a life-altering vow, a promise to never again be unprepared, a commitment to excellence, forged in grief and built on compassion. That moment of loss didn't just shape his skill, it shaped his mission. Purpose gives life direction. After the war, Dr. Wham didn't just go through the motions. He immersed himself in rigorous training, diving deep into thoracic and cardiac surgery, a field still in its infancy. His mentors urged him to study chest surgery before finishing his graduate program. He listened. He extended his residency by 2 full years. He then trained at St. Francis Hospital in New York, where he worked on cardiac procedures for children. He was on a mission. He wasn't just clocking hours. He was becoming the kind of surgeon who could save lives in situations like the one he experienced during the war. This wasn't a job anymore. It was his reason for waking up every morning. And isn't that what we all long for? A life that means something, a reason to get up and fight another day, a cause that pulls us forward even when things get hard. Purpose is the ultimate energy source. We often think energy comes from food, sleep, or rest. And of course, those things matter. But the deepest, most sustainable energy comes from purpose. When you know your why, you can endure almost any how. Dr. Wham went on to perform Loma Linda University's first open-heart surgery in 1958. He didn't stop there. For 22 years, he served as the chief of cardiac surgery. When most surgeons consider retiring in their 60s, he kept going strong into his 70s. Why? Because he still had a mission. And even after stepping back from surgeries at age 74, he continued mentoring, teaching, and traveling around the world with his wife Barbara, also a nurse, to train new heart surgeons. They journeyed to countries like Pakistan, Greece, and Saudi Arabia, where access to heart surgery was rare or non-existent. Many of the people they helped had no other options. In those places, surgery wasn't just health care. It was the difference between life and death. Dr. Wham once reflected, "Here in America, if I can't operate on someone, they can go down the street and find someone else. But in many places, if we didn't come, they had no hope." That is purpose. That is what it means to truly matter. Purpose is the greatest anti-aging pill. There's a growing body of scientific research supporting what Dr. Wham's life proves. People who live with a sense of purpose live longer. In the landmark study, The Longevity Project, psychologists Howard S. Friedman and Leslie R. Martin followed over 1,500 people for 8 decades. Their findings? The people who stayed productive, committed to meaningful goals, and had strong work ethics not only lived longer, they lived better. They had fewer diseases, more satisfaction, and stronger social bonds. Dr. Wham was the walking embodiment of this truth. He didn't just live to 104. He thrived well past the age when others slow down. At 95, he was still in the operating room. At 100, he was still teaching and sharing his wisdom. His sharp mind, active spirit, and glowing sense of humor all testified to the power of living with meaning. Purpose makes you resilient. There were challenges, hard days, grief, loss, fatigue, but purpose pulled him through. When he lost patience, he didn't crumble, he learned. When medicine changed, he adapted. When others retired, he still showed up. Why? Because purpose is a resilient force. It keeps your heart strong, your mind alert, and your soul alive. And here's the beauty of it. You don't need to be a surgeon to live with purpose. You don't have to travel the world or save lives on an operating table. Purpose can be found in a classroom, at a kitchen table, on a farm, in an art studio, or in the smile of a child you're raising. What matters is that you know why you do what you do. What's your purpose? Dr. Wham's story invites each of us to reflect. What is your reason for waking up in the morning? What breaks your heart? And what would you do to fix it? What makes you feel alive, useful, and fulfilled? Don't let life pass you by on autopilot. Don't settle for survival when you were made to thrive. Even if you feel like you've missed your moment, it's not too late. You're never too old, too tired, or too far behind to live with purpose. Purpose isn't about titles or applause. It's about impact. It's about waking up and knowing your life makes a difference to someone, somewhere. A life of meaning is a life of longevity. Dr. Wham's life wasn't just long, it was rich, meaningful, and inspiring. He turned pain into purpose, skill into service, and a profession into a legacy. He reminds us that when we serve others with intention and heart, we give our own life a reason to stretch beyond the ordinary. So today, take a deep breath. Sit with yourself. Ask the big questions. Because when you find your purpose, and live it every day, you'll unlock energy, joy, and yes, longevity.
Let Dr. Wham's life be a beacon. Purpose keeps the heart beating strong, long after others have stopped.
Conclusion: a life that lights the way. Dr. Ellsworth Wham didn't just live a long life, he lived a life that mattered. From the battlefields of World War II to the bright lights of operating rooms, from quiet mornings on his orchard to the lecture halls where he mentored young doctors, his journey was marked by a powerful, unwavering truth. You are never too old to live with purpose, passion, and love. At 95, when most people have faded into retirement, he was still wearing his scrubs, still guiding hands in surgery, still inspiring hearts with wisdom. At 100, he was not slowing down. He was still speaking, still teaching, still living. And what was his secret? It wasn't some magic pill or breakthrough treatment. It was something much deeper and much simpler. It was waking up every day with a reason to get out of bed. It was staying active, not just with his body, but with his heart. It was choosing connection over isolation, service over comfort, discipline over convenience. It was living intentionally. We often search for longevity in pills, in procedures, in genetics. But Dr. Wham's life teaches us that the true fountain of youth is found in how you live your days. It's in the food you choose, the people you cherish, the purpose you follow, and the energy you give to something bigger than yourself. His story is not just about adding years to life, it's about adding life to years. And you, yes, you, can do the same. You can eat to nourish, not just to fill. You can move with purpose, not just out of duty. You can love fiercely, give freely, and live with conviction. You can wake up tomorrow and say, "This day matters. I matter." Because the truth is, a meaningful life isn't reserved for the few. It's possible for anyone, at any age, who dares to live with heart. So take the lessons from Dr. Wham. Let them plant a seed in you. Let them spark something bold and bright. And then go live a life so full, so generous, so purpose-driven, that long after you're gone, the world will still feel the warmth you left behind.